What is up, folks? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and it is August 30th, a Friday. We're standing at Polderbaan, currently used for for departures. KLM flight 787 to Sint Maarten, lining up to depart A330-200. The AOA. 19 years old, first flight August 2005. And what started out as a cloudy day over here is quickly turning into a sunny day. Hardly any wind. The wind expected today to blow from the northeastern direction, although the METAR now indicates a 1-knot wind nearly from the south. As the wind is going to pick up later in the day, it is expected to become a northerly wind. Big picture wise, this is what it looks like to the north. Isolated cloud to the northwest. This is looking to the west, looking to the east, looking to the south. Runway threshold, KLM flight 1243, outbound to Limkoping. 6-year-old airplane, first flight January 2018. And a very good morning to everybody who has joined already. Jackie, Maria, JD, Leo, Koen, Adri, Sheila, Arjan, Dirkie, all others who have joined in the meantime, good morning to you all. Happy Friday. Phone is connected via Wi-Fi. Wasn't hearing any static, so that bodes well. Did come unprepared for the weather. It looked like it was going to be a cool day with clouds, so I came in jeans and hoodie. The hoodie is already off. I'm standing here in my t-shirt. Unfortunately, I did not bring any sunscreen with me. Luckily, my arms are already quite bronzed, so I'm hoping they can withstand one session without any sunscreen. Good morning, Evelyn. Henk, goedemorgen. André, guten Morgen. Gisela, guten Morgen. La Leinders, good morning. Carbike Paradise, good morning. Hey Koen, good morning Kelly. Now I am starting to feel a breeze in my back, indicating wind blowing from the north. If it is picking up a little bit more, I might even be able to put back on my hoodie, which would be better for my arms. Anyway. Underground London fan says they're on board the BXS to Copenhagen, which will be arriving shortly. Well, will it be taking off from this runway or from center? Center is also open, parallel departures to the north. Could also be that you might take off from runway center. K1 is driving on the runway. Now is vacating? No, still on the runway. Little inspection in progress. And that is why the Embraer 175 is holding short. Water is still calm, as you guys can see, near mirror-like. There are birds in the water, and also if you look just how quickly grass is taking over on this barren strip that was sand. What was it, a week ago? 1.5 weeks ago, last time we were here? I was going to point the camera to ducks, but it's like duck hunt. They're now going, gone. Inspection is still in progress. Airbnb, good morning. Lance Plains and More, good morning. Hey there Tina, goedemorgen. Rivano, good morning. Marcel, goedemorgen. Okay. Was that plastic or was that a bird remnant? A bird carcass? Hard to see. Hey there Evasteria. Hey there Greenlight. Hey there Henrik. Peter, goedemorgen. Good morning. Parallel departures to the north now in progress. And I think this is now the bird control of the runway. Yep. And the BXS. The PHBXS not taking off from center, but already the next airplane to take off from Polderbaan. Now, I already received a WhatsApp message from pilot Sander just now, who forwarded a screenshot which says that Suriname Airways will be hiring the A340-600 for its route to Amsterdam. I think it said, but I only looked at it briefly, I think it said from September 1st onward. How cool would that be if the A340 returned to Schiphol and not just the 400 or 300 but the 600? That is exciting news. Now this is KLM flight 1269, 737-900 to Copenhagen, the PHBXS, 22 years old, first flight October 2001. Looking on flight radar, there is another KLM 737-800 coming this way to Dublin. KLM flight 1137. Sylvan, good morning. Ricardo, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Richard, goedemorgen. Hey there Lee. Happy Friday, good evening, hope you've had a good day, mate. QJ, goedemorgen. G.J. Jansen, goedemorgen. Indeed, the stronger and longer pencil. Very exciting news if indeed the A340-600 will be visiting Schiphol for Suriname. If they'll arrive and depart on decent hours of the day, quote unquote. Oh, turning and burning. KLM flight 1137 to Dublin. Koen says, does it look like it or is the tail bended? Are you talking about this airplane or the previous one? Because I did not notice anything. Everything on this airplane at least seems to be normal. I'm assuming it also was on the other airplane. Would be indicative of a structural defect otherwise. Now more KLM 737-800s. One to bloody Helsinki. KLM flight 1251 is making its way over to the threshold. Matthäus, good morning. Malky, good morning. Martin, goedemorgen. Jimmy Pirate, goedemorgen. Jaap, goedemorgen. Omar, good morning. Lee asks, have you seen the new KLM A321neo yet? Not yet. Pretty sure we will in due course. I think it's the first of, what was it, 150 or so? Or I think it was a triple digit number that they ordered, so I'm not too worried about not having seen it yet, but we'll see plenty of them soon enough. They're going to be the new Embraers, more or less. So we'll see it in due course, I'm sure. Obviously, I saw the pictures and whatnot when it arrived from all the people who were there to see it. But I haven't seen the airplane with my own eyes in real life yet. Jackie asks if I can go to Eindhoven tonight. Flying to Nice again? Nice? Nice, my friend. No, unfortunately, got other plans. Haven't been to the gym yet this week and there's no chance of me going there in the weekend, so I have to go tonight or skip the week altogether, which is not something I intend to do. So sorry, Jackie. Maybe someone else is able to film your departure. Whack whack. Daisy Duck saying hi. Wiggling her tail. That's not a good sign. Usually when tails get wagged, rain is coming. Now Sylvan, thank you for your kind words. You are the best in Dutch, he says. Rob Waal, good morning. Mark, goedemorgen. Happy gym time. Yeah, I hope it will be. I am a bit fatigued, I have to say, but I'm sure I'll manage. I've managed for more than 2 decades already, so. What's this? It's a heavy bird coming this way. KLM flight 605, 787-10 to San Francisco. And another heavy hitter behind it. It's 2 consecutive 787-10s, both going to Cali. In the foreground, flight 605 to San Francisco. In the background, flight 601 to LAX. I'll drink to that. Now it's going to be interesting this weekend. On my way from my hometown to Polderbaan, I also drive past Hoofddorp and the old Floriade terrain where a flower exposition was held years ago. Now it's being used on occasion for festivals, and Mysteryland is going to be held there this weekend. So there are already all kinds of signs indicating where the artists and the need to go to, where the camping is and whatnot. Meanwhile, Queen coming in, runway 24, China, Air China cargo, by the looks of it. Some guessing if we're going to do streams here over the weekend along Polderbaan. Depending on the wind, we might also pick up electronic dance music. Maybe if the wind is blowing away from us, we might still hear it. Probably is going to be a loud festival. Here is KLM flight 605 to San Francisco, 787-10 Dreamliner. Good morning, Master Bacon, Mr. Ufa, Hans, Evan, what is up, my man? Good to see ya. Charging the EV rental. You seem to be renting EVs quite regularly, aren't you? Or is that part of a new job that you're doing? Gary Grebe is also there, saying hi. Mother Ducker. Next up, the KLM 100 Years Dreamliner, flight 601 to LAX. 2 consecutive 787-10 Dreamliners. This is, of course, the PHBKA, which is 5 years old, first flight June 2019. Showtime. Next airplane is an Embraer 175, which will be going to Stavanger. Hey there, Donna, good morning. Wake turbulence of the preceding airplane has to dissipate. Andre, you haven't missed an Embraer yet so far, as far as I can tell. A rare Embraer. Now, 1 month and Mario will be turning green. Almost there, can't wait. Thank you for your continued support, Maria, and also everything you've been doing ever since you've become a moderator. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, if any of the two is no longer to your liking, do let me know and let me see what I can do about it. Thank you so much for your support. Also, Adriaan, goedemorgen. And Dirkie asks, would you be so kind to run us through the meanings of the numbers in the METAR again? Let me do that after this departure and before the next. as we're listening to the tune of a KLM A330 to Houston. Let me take you through the meter once again. It is also, by coincidence, coming in the ticker EHAM, the abbreviation for Schiphol Airport, together with AMS. Then the date, 30th, 7:25 Z means 7:25 Zulu time, which is 9:25 Central European time, the time in the bottom left corner. Then the wind, 140 degrees is where the wind is blowing from, with a speed of 1 knot. KVK means ceiling and visibility are okay. The air temperature is 16 degrees, the dew point is 15 degrees, the air pressure is 1022 hectopascals. No significant changes are expected in the upcoming 2 hours. KVK, ceiling and visibility are okay, means that in the lower 5,000 feet around the airport, no significant clouds or significant precipitation, be it snow or rain, is taking place. So there are clouds, obviously, in the sky, but those are at a higher altitude. And these probably aren't, but are not in the immediate vicinity of the airport, so that's out of the scope. If those clouds, which are probably lower than 5,000 feet, would be right above the airport, it would no longer be KVK. Also, if visibility would be less than 10 kilometers, it would no longer be KVK. Here we have the wind on the scale of chimney smoke. Got a lot of heavies coming in. The A330 almost lining up near the threshold. We have American Airlines 777-200 to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, followed by KLM 777-200 to Bogota in Colombia. Blackburst, good morning. You're welcome, Dirkie. Hey Jan Willem, goedemorgen. Yo, Lisa, what up, chickie? This is KLM flight 661 to Houston, Texas. A330-200, the PH AOE. 18 years old, first flight July 2006. Adi Gerrit, goedemorgen. Hey daar Nicky, goedemorgen. Floris, goedemorgen. Andre, check it out, another rare Embraer. You're not going to miss any of them. Another 777 by the looks of it. Bookie meow, wow, good morning. 777-200 to Minneapolis, KLM flight 655 is what we are looking at on the far left. Meanwhile, American is lining up. You have to look closely, but then if you look closely you will see this is an American airplane which also is going to the United States of America, to Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas in fact. 777-200, let's go! Good morning, David, tuning in from South Orange County. Early morning for you. Still. Sander, goedemorgen. Good morning, Harry. Also back in the chat, tuning in from Ontario. Good morning, mate. David says, I wish I could be there. Well, who knows, one day. Always nice to have a ground crew. 777-200 to Bogota, KLM flight 741. Hadi Rob, goedemorgen. Matthijs, Taz Licious, good morning. West side represent indeed, West Coast. Well represented again. Finnair A350 fan also in the chat, morning mate. Oh? Fireworks, Happy New Year. Where's the culprit? Probably behind those boxes. Where is it over there? Is it the van? Is it the H1 van? No, that's Area 52. Okay. No idea. Haven't seen the firefighters yet. So, don't think we've missed a patrol round if they are going to do one. If they are going to do one, they still have to do it, I think. Bookie Meow asks, what's in those red and white boxes? I think ILS equipment. It's all for the instrument landing system. I think. Don't know for sure. KLM flight 1185 is lined up. And now spooling up, going to Christiansand and Bro 175. Another rarity here at Schiphol Airport. Parallel departures, Daisy also just now took off. Doing some low level flying. Splashdown. No, it wasn't Daisy, it was... Hold up! K1. Gary Grebe, the mother ducker. KLM flight 655, 777-200 to Minneapolis, Minnesota. 20 years old, first flight April 2004. Let's roll. Hey Peter, goedemorgen. And Bult absolutely fishing the canal. Saw a few splashes from the corner of my eye on several occasions already, when there were no other birds or anything present in the water. So the fish are alive and kicking. Ryan Scare, followed by an E2 Embraer 195. It has no sharklets, it has no winglets, it has big ass engines and a sleek narrow body. Hey Hans Olaf, good morning. I totally missed a gifted membership by you yesterday. Only yesterday evening when I was looking back the stream, particularly to listen to the sound, of course, with all the issues with the static we've been having. I saw that I missed a gifted membership. I even saw that Paul reminded me of it, and I also did not see that reminder. So apologies for that, and thank you so much for the gifted membership. I hope that the recipient, I don't remember who it was, will thank you or has thanked you for it. English is deteriorating. Time for a sip of vodka. Ryanair flight 421 to Dublin, lined up, ready to go in at a moment's notice. 15-year-old airplane, first flight December 2008. Now, for how much longer it is going to be Cavoquet for remains to be seen, because you can see that the one cloud that was there initially has multiplied like a sort of cloud cancer, if you will, and is spreading, land inward that is, which is interesting because the expected wind on Windfinder today says wind from the northeast, which is from over there. So I'm pretty sure that if those clouds are also going to come closer by, it will no longer be Cavoquet. This is KLM flight 1031 and E2 Embraer 195 to Manchester, where you man the F up. 3-year-old airplane, first flight March 2021. It's spooling up and ready to go. It does provide for a more lovely backdrop against which the airplanes can take off from, doesn't it? Artuzinho, good morning, bon dia. Air Baltic A220 to Riga, flight 618. Bookie Meow's cat is trying to catch the plane with her paw. Cat flicks. Nice. Hey there, Frank. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Thanks again for troubleshooting with me yesterday. Got the phone connected via Wi-Fi again. No static whatsoever, also not when I was listening before going live with my headphones in. So that seems to have done the trick. You and Paul, thanks again for troubleshooting yesterday. Now, listen to this. Already you can hear them well in advance. The engines of another A330 coming this way. Lined up, Embraer 190 to Bill land, dropping off bills. And everybody who is named Bill who misbehaved, forced to spend the rest of their days over there in Billund. Lux says Suriname Airways is coming soon, and for those of you who tuned in later, I have some good news regarding Suriname Airways. Pilot Sander texted me a screenshot this morning just before I was going live that from I think September 1st onward, Suriname is going to fly the A340-600 to bloody Amsterdam. Not sure if it is confirmed news already. I think he posted, he texted me a screenshot of a forum, which I think might be also rumors. Not sure if it is confirmed yet, but DJ Danny asks the age of Polderbaan. It was built in 2003, so it's just over 20 years old. This is Delta Airlines Flight 161 to Minneapolis, Minnesota, doing a turn and burn. A330-300, 9 years old. Let's look and listen. What is up, Alan? Don't panic, I'm here now. I was starting to get palpitations already. Happy you're here, mate. Hope you've ruffled some feathers the rest of the day yesterday. I know I certainly have. EasyJet lined up, ready to go to Manchester. Flight 22162 A320. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Jesus. Motherfudging Jesus. Jesus is returning to Manchester, 12 years old. Jesus has come to the Netherlands. All behave and say a little prayer. Optimus Toaster also back in the chat. W, good morning. Patrick, goedemorgen. All others who've joined in the meantime, good morning one and all. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to AMS Live. Jesus has come to the Netherlands and is now leaving for Manchester. Motherfudging Jesus. It's really him! Mother fudger. Finally. Hey, and you know what this means, right? Jesus has left the country, so the Netherlands once again, God forsaken. We can do whatever the hell we want. Party time, yeah. Right. Servus Erik. Schön, dass du wieder mal dabei bist. Herzlich willkommen. Bevroren patat. Also back in the chat. Perfect timing. Oh man, I'm still awestruck from having seen Jesus in real life. Alan says you should leave the goods alone, boy. LOL, going to kick some ass later. Got that Friday feeling. Well, be careful, mate. Jesus is coming to Manchester. He will be close by and watching you. Air Baltic in the meantime. Second 80-20 of the show to Tallinn. Ballin and Tallinn. Oh man. Right, in the meantime, 747, 8, Nippon, taking off to Milan. Hey there, Misom. Hey there, Epicer. EasyJet to Bristol. Hey, the cat also back in the chat. Meow. So we have Bookie Meow and the cat. And where are all the dogs at? Unbalanced audience. Hey Johan, goedemorgen. Right, well, Alan summoned Jesus. He's coming for you, mate. Your wish has been granted. KLM 737-900 to Barcelona. KLM flight 1513. Few control remnants. Not anything clearly visible immediately in the vicinity. Oh! 747 to Milan, just did a 180 and is now flying to the south. Nippon. Harry asks if I live far away from the airport. Roughly 10 miles or so, mate. Not too far away. A 20 minutes drive if there are no bridges open and if the traffic lights aren't all red. Hey Sarah, good to see you again. You just missed the departure of Jesus. Jesus visited the Netherlands, and once again now the Netherlands is a God-forsaken country. Jesus is on its way to Manchester. Meanwhile in the tower things are quiet. There's an airplane coming. There are several airplanes coming. In the meantime, a departure from center. That's the third Air Baltic pattern that you see very often. 2 depart from this runway and 1 from the other. Going to Vilnius. Suriname is also coming on its way to Paramaribo. A330-200, and like I said before, pilot Sander already texted me shortly before I was going live with a screenshot of a forum where it was mentioned that from September onwards Suriname will be flying to Amsterdam with the A340-600. Wouldn't that be something? Now I'm also seeing a 7478 to Taipei that is almost lining up on runway center. I think it is going to coincide nicely with waiting for traffic to take off from Polderbaan. Meanwhile, another heavy hitter takes to the sky, 777-300 Hey Miss Wolves, good morning. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Ronald, goedemorgen. And all others who have joined in the meantime, good morning too. The single cloud that we saw before has multiplied, and I think they are getting closer by slowly but surely. Even though the wind is set to blow from the northeast. Right, so got a KLM Embraer moving to the threshold. We also have BA, I think. Yeah, BA to Heathrow coming this way. Let's do a quick update of the METAR while we have a moment to spare. A refresh will now tell us that the wind is indeed blowing from the northeast and has increased to 5 knots or 2 below 4. Air temperature 19 degrees, no longer KVK, few clouds at 2,400 feet. Stupid ad. Alright, copy. Let me paste that in the ticker. The KLM Embraer is in the meantime spooling up. But so too is that 7478 to Taipei. Is that the Kühne and Nagel? Yeah, nice. Atlas Air Kühne and Nagel livery to Taipei. 7478 just taking off from center. One-year-old airplane. First flight was in October 2022. BA to London. Meanwhile, over here. A319, old school. Jinshin, aloha, Jurjen, goedemorgen. Maxi boy, good morning. Yeah, there's also a doggo here. More balanced audience now. KLM flight 1231 to Göteborg, 737-700. That is another A220 from Bulgaria, flying to Sofia. We've got 3 heavies coming this way, already taxiing on the west side of the center runway. Now a massive big thank you to Sarah, who just now gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. You really shouldn't have, but you did it anyway. I hope that the recipients will thank you for their gifted membership. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Be sure to use those custom emojis that you now have at your disposal. Sarah, once again, a big thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Slowly but surely, we're going to the 700 members. This is the Dash 8 100 of the Coast Guard, Canadian registered, and from memory 37 or so years old. But there's a pine tree in the way. And another tree of sorts. On its way to the coast to do some patrolling. With the sun shining right now, it feels like a nice day to be going to the beach. Not sure how long that is going to be the case. Definitely more clouds forming, and I think they're slowly coming this way, but we'll see. I think, is that another... That's another 747 landing. Singapore Airlines cargo going to runway 06. No, runway 24. No, wait, that's Suparna. Or is it? Yeah, that's Suparna Airlines. Airlines. Well, last a little bit that we can see of it landing on runway 24, Kaagbaan. The tail. And that's the last bit, I think. Yeah, from here on we cannot see it anymore. What is visible, however, are those 3 heavies I was referring to earlier. Hey, Did I miss a wave from the tower? No shit. Really? Anybody waving there? I'm waving to you. Must have missed it. Here's the triplet of heavies coming this way. See that Jane is also back in the chat. Good to see ya. Alan also back in the chat from the northeast of England. Thanks for the kind words. I'm good. Hope that also goes for you, my friend. Bloody hell, Lee says 31.6 degrees C today in Sydney, warmest winter day on record. Mate, you guys are having better winter weather than we do summer weather. Maxi asks, did you already see a Vueling? Not yet. Not yet. Hey, wouldn't it be something if the airplane that is now on the far right would be coming this way and would be taking off from Cheater's Lane? Get a nice front view of the big 777. Which is it? 777-300 Earth at Lima. Air Serbia on its way to Belgrade, I'm assuming. I'm too far zoomed in on Flight Radar to see. Now, also hearing stuff behind me going on. Cutting some greenery. Somebody call Greenpeace, they're not going to be happy. Okay, so it was just a regular overtaking. Oh, Suriname. No, wait, the lights went on again. Are they having some issues? Right, it is spooling up, it is coming. Haven't spotted Michael yet in the chat. He would be happy to see the CRJ that is following the heavies. Suriname is still on the move. In the meantime, overtaken by Delta and KLM. KLM 777-300 Earth to Lima, first to line up and take off. I'm assuming, unless the CRJ is going to go ahead of all three. Given the distance, it is still away. Probably not. En Vliegtuigspotters Nederland is in the 777-300 Lima. Are you seated on the left hand side is the question, the obvious question of course. KLM Flight 743 going to Lima in Peru. PHBVC, 15 years old, first flight May 2009. Yo, what up Rick? Mr. Maestro back in the chat. Goeiemorgen kerel. Good to see you mate. Back to the usual work grind it is, I'm assuming. This is Delta Airlines Flight 179 going to Jerry's hometown of Portland, Oregon. A330-300. 8-year-old airplane, first flight June 2016, and another Delta SLM A330 operated by my left arrow, lined up already. Soon to be replaced by A340-600s if all is well. My left arrow flying on behalf of Suriname to Paramaribo. 22-year-old airplane. Right. CRJ time. SAS Flight 552 to Copenhagen. CRJ 900 long range, 7 years old. Irish registered, EI frames per second. First flight August 2017. Well, Gary Grebe, the mother ducker, was here for a brief moment. CRJ is still waiting for the wake turbulence to dissipate sufficiently. Where is he going to re-emerge? That's the question. Oh, all the way over there. They're good underwater swimmers, that's for sure. Bloop, going under again. Pipeline. After the CRJ. Delta A330, little bitty, itty bitty Embraer, another Delta A330, and what's this? Hard to see, Airbus A321, of sorts, I think. Maxi boy asks about A380. It first has to arrive, which it will do late today, between 1 and 2 o'clock, so it will take off again end of the afternoon, usually between 3:30 and 4:30. Delta Flight 4057 to Salt Lake City, A330neo. brand new airplane. First flight was in July this year, so this airplane really is brand spanking new. Hey there, Mr. Blue Sky, good morning. KLM flight 1753, Embraer 175, going to Hamburgers, 6 years old, first flight November 2017, and the first Vueling of the show. That was the airplane that I couldn't identify immediately, but there it is. Already we can see that the dot is still in place, luckily. Means that the world is still going to be intact for a while. Alright, next up Delta Airlines flight 135 to Detroit, Michigan, A330-300, 19 years old, first flight March 2005. What's going on here? This is not looking good, guys. This is the hallmark of a Delta that is taxiing to the first exit. It's going to give us a butt shot and is aborting this takeoff. That is exactly what is happening here. We've seen it before on multiple occasions. Guess you're right, Lisa. Pilots don't want to go to Detroit. Well, Delta butt shot, there we go. Not one that we had hoped to see, but apparently not. Meanwhile, the show must go on, and Vueling is doing so. Going to Barcelona, A321neo. A321neo is a year old, or at least this particular one. First flight June 2023. Next up, Transavia, flight 5747 and a butt shot. No sooner has Jesus left the country and butt shots are taking place again. It is a God-forsaken country, the Netherlands. This is Transavia flight 5747, 737-700. That's a lot of sevens. It's the PHXRX. 21 years old, first flight March 2003. Trying to avoid Detroit, indeed. Now, what's the hold up? The answer is there isn't any. What is up, Bill? Good morning. Bill's tuning in from Seattle. Nemesis1 says you have to turn on ATC. Well, first of all, I don't have to do anything. And second of all, I'm not going to do that. First of all, because it isn't allowed. And second of all, I don't want to disturb the people who don't want to listen to ATC and settle them up with ATC. You can listen to liveatc.net if you want to. It's free. But I'm not going to do anything of the sort. Particularly not when somebody is telling me to do so. A320neo to Oslo, SAS flight 822. Right, well, Delta Airlines, flight 73 to Atlanta, now lining up. Must be a pleasant sight for the passengers on the right hand side to see an airplane similar as the one that they are sitting in, having returned off the runway. Troubleshooting. So far so good. Thrust set. Right. V1 passed. Last little itty bitty detail is gear retraction. Oh, the hatches are already opening, so yeah. That's how you do it. Hope the pilots have taken notice. Still a very indecent shot over here. Looking in a bum of an A330. What is up next? It is a KLM 777-300 to Johannesburg. Meanwhile, Lords Who Travel, good morning. Tuning in from sunny Blackpool. Welcome to the show, mate. off it goes to Johannesburg. KLM flight 591. This was the PH-BVS, 7-year-old airplane. First flight February 2017. Hey Berend, goedemorgen. So, pipeline. KLM. Hey. A lot to see in the retro livery. I like this one a lot. Another Vueling. Another KLM. Lest I forget. You're overlooking them easily. Left engine is running. Right one also seems to be running. Hard to see what the APU is doing. This is KLM flight 1219 to Stockholm, 737-800. 13 years old, PH HSE. HSE. Wasn't that a trim of Range Rovers? HSE? Huh. Retro lot. Obviously. Photobomb. Embraer 175 to Warsaw. What a specimen of an airplane. Bird controller using the sound effects of predator bird noises, which you could probably pick up on the mic. Ah, engine type on a Range Rover. Thank you, Remco. Happy New Year! Happy New Year. Well, just one round of fireworks. Bit of a disappointment. Oh, it was a trim. Okay. HSE. Yeah. Vueling flight 8355 to Bilbao Baggins in the north of Spain. A320, 17 years old. Meanwhile, all kinds of vehicles visible on the parking lot, but no French fries truck, nor an ice cream van. It's becoming a familiar sight. The bum of a Delta that aborted the takeoff initially. Question remains, will it return to the gate or will it do a second attempt at some point later in the stream? Fireworks do cost money, Lisa. And in the Netherlands, of course, we're cheapskates. So, one round of firework, celebrate the new year. which makes it 2026-7. I don't know. Don't recall. I haven't kept track of how many rounds of firework we've heard. Nice combo shot of two outgoing planes there. Don Viejos also in the chat. Frank says that piss cabin will stink. Yeah, I'm not sure if as a female I would want to take a number one in those red Dixies. For us men it's much easier, that grey unit, which also smells, but at least it's not a contained space where the smell lingers in. Meanwhile, Air Europa Dreamliner off to Madrid, almost lining up. Bob also back in the chat, tuning in from Sydney. Lee already told us about the record warm winter day of 31.6 degrees C today for you guys. I guess that's why we haven't heard of Alvin yet. He's molten. Incredible. Air Europa, flight 1098, 7879 Dreamliner to Madrid. The EC OFO, 4 years old, first flight August 2020. Rick asks if I already bought some pepper nuts. I also spotted them last week in the supermarket already. Kruidnoten covered in all different flavors of chocolate. It is insane. Just didn't celebrate my birthday a couple of weeks ago. It's still bloody August and already those treats that usually get handed out to children during the Sinterklaasfest, which Sinterklaas arrives always in the second half or around mid-November, and then on December 5th, that's Pakjesavond, the night where all the children get their treats from Sinterklaas, their gifts. And after that he's going back to Spain. So it's still months out before he even arrives in the Netherlands, and already the treats are in the supermarkets. Oh, nice. Ricardo is going to Crete in Greece. Leaves on October 14th, returns on October 21st and flying from Rotterdam Airport. Nice. And thank you, Danny, for your belated happy birthday. Now, seems that the Intervision or whatever it is camera has been taken down. It was always over here. The guys are taking it down apparently. Hey, check it out. Delta is on the move. Going for a second attempt. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. For me, it was just a regular work day. It was a busy day, in fact. I was quite beat after my work day. Yeah, so I now should possess the answer to the life, universe and everything. It has all been bestowed on me. Remco doesn't like the word Hollander. I do like it. It's what Belgians use for Dutch cheese in general. Delta Airlines, flight 135 to Detroit, doing a turn and burn. Holy shizzle. Fire in the hole, and they're going. One thing we can establish, nothing is wrong with the volume levels that the engines produce. It's rotating. Any problems will now be taken into the sky. What will happen with the gear? Well, the hatches are already opening. Main gear is retracting. It is like watching paint dry so slow, but it's happening. Kablamo! Thank you, Rick, for your super chat. 1 year closer to retirement. Congrats. Well, on paper, that is assuming that our government isn't upping the retirement age, which I think they might. A couple of years ago, we could still retire at 65. Now, I believe for people my age, it is almost 68. And it's ever increasing, so I'm not sure if the retirement age is outpacing my progressing age, or if I am catching up. This is an A350. This is Delta by the looks of it. Hey Jörg, thank you. Thank you so much. Delta A350. Gone. Gone. Alright, looks quiet on the platform. Bob can recommend retirement. Well, I have been semi-retired for several years now, only doing 2 days of work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, so I already consider myself to be semi-retired, which I already was at age 40, so I think I know what you're talking about, Bob, and I completely concur. Retirement is highly recommended. Yeah, I thought I saw... Oh yeah, I do, but the rail of the bridge is exactly in the way of you guys seeing an unobstructed view of the bird control vehicle. We just have to sell our house at 55. By then it will be 3 times more worth at the time we bought it. That's right. And then retire, become homeless at age 55, right? Is that the plan? I'm missing the escape here. Are you going to live out of a trailer then, or rent a house instead? Sale leaseback construction. P2 Authority. Hey Peter. Goedemorgen. Jeff back on the polderbaan. Absolutely. Now, all still quiet at the fire station. The truck that we saw before still standing out. Still is. No new vehicles have emerged. Remco says, I'm 47, but from a metabolic perspective, seen I'm way older. For me, it is the exact inverse. Still a kid at heart, and I think physically too. Hope so. Ah, camper van. Park near the polderbaan, Rick says. Oh man, you've got it all figured out, haven't you? It does sound tempting, I have to say. Yeah, my plan was to save up so that I can be sure to pay off the mortgage in full, and then you don't have to have a big pension to pay all your daily expenses, which I think I'm already succeeding in significantly. Lisa asks if didn't I sell my soul to the devil? Well, I did, in exchange for eternal youth. And I thought I heard from the devil you did too recently. Donna is too old to grow up. That's also a nice way to cheat. Oh, and thanks for the congratulations, Remco. Hey there, Bill. Good morning. Adrian says you can also sail a boat in the canal over here. Yeah, that's true. Now, Liwe recently sent me a YouTube video of mobile home boats, so to speak. Modern houses that drift on the water, but that you can also move to other locations. Sort of a mobile home, but for on the water. That also looked very tempting. BA is coming this way. More airplanes are coming, and the majority of the airplanes I now see on the platform on Flight Radar coming this way are heavies. The exodus to the United States is still in progress, although right now it is a bit quiet. That's always something that can happen and often does happen with departures. And before you know it, we'll be busy with non-stop departures again pretty soon. And just plain nuts, 55 is not the magic number in the Netherlands. Maybe if you're a pilot, but I think even for pilots these days it is crawling towards 60, if not 60 or 60 plus already. I think it is 67 to 69 these days. It's increasing every year, I think. I think we're moving towards 70. And indeed, Ricardo, there was an ATR that crashed in Brazil a couple of weeks ago. Heard about it, saw it on the news. Michael back in the chat. Hey mate, obviously you missed a CRJ already. Now, it was only one. Don't recall the exact time it departed, it wasn't too long ago. Meanwhile, this is BA Flight 437 to London Heathrow. Now Michael, you might have also missed another Delta A330 butt shot. The flight to Detroit, initially aborting and taxiing back off the runway. And after some troubleshooting, its second attempt went by uneventfully. Pilots must retire at age 65. Yeah, and I believe it was even earlier here in the Netherlands. For a long time, KLM pilots, I think, had to retire at 58 or something. But I think it is getting older by the year now, also in aviation in the Netherlands. It was always a couple of years earlier than non-pilots had or were eligible to retire. Frank says 55 for defense personnel. Functional age pension. That sounds like a politically correct way to say old farts need to go. we're age discriminating. Hey there, Shirley. Good morning. Tuning in from Montgomery, Alabama. And also, she wants to thank the person who gifted her a membership yesterday. I don't recall who it was, but on behalf of me, also a big thank you for gifting Shirley her membership. And Rob says, it says arrivals 24, shouldn't that be 06? You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Well, while we are behind the computer, might as well also do a check of the METAR. There we go. So last METAR said few clouds at 2,400 feet, 5 knots of wind blowing from the northeast. Let's refresh the page and see what has changed. Wind has turned a little bit further to the north, but still in the northeasterly corner as was expected by Windfinder today, which said slightly increasing wind over the day towards the evening. For today and tomorrow, wind in the northeast to easterly corner, so I'm expecting the same runway use tomorrow as today. And I'm also expecting that the current runway use will be continued all throughout the day. We have few clouds at 3,200 feet. The air temperature has risen to 20 degrees C, roughly 70 F. Let's also update that in the ticker for you. And in the meantime, new airplanes are coming this way. Paul also back in the chat. Morning mate, good to see you. Hope all is well. Thanks again also to you for helping me troubleshoot the static issue that we were experiencing yesterday. Phone connected to through Wi-Fi today. Didn't hear any static as I was setting up and listening with my earplugs in, and neither has anybody reported any static so far. So think that switching to Wi-Fi instead of using 5G data really did the trick. Harry is going to go to sleep for a while. Thank you for joining. Sleep well. Hope to see you again soon. RDW, goedemorgen. Henry, goedemorgen. Good morning. Drew, good morning. Goedemorgen. The heavies are coming. The first heavy to line up is going to be another Delta A330-300. And this is Delta Airlines flight 5047 to New York JFK. Indeed, Bob. Will it go or not? Place your bets. All good over here as well, Paul. Although I did make a wardrobe malfunction. Looked like it was going to be a cool day today, so I came with jeans and hoodie on, and as I was setting up, the sun was coming through and it was starting to get warm. So I'm now standing here in my t-shirt without any sunscreen, without having applied any sunscreen. I'm hoping that as the wind picks up, maybe I can put on the hoodie again and stay cool and protected. Thing is, this morning it was already cool and cloudy. More often than not, I've been too cold than too warm. I hope we'll manage. Meanwhile, Kevin also in the chat. Put alarm for Clearwater Beach, Florida. Good morning. Morning. Morning indeed, sir. Well, you can now also see that those clouds are south of us. Initially it was just one itty bitty cloud over there. It's now a bit more. Almost looks like a cloud street, as we call it, literally translated into English. In Dutch, Wolkenstraat. This is KLM flight 733, 777-200 to Willemstad, Curaçao. This was the PHBQM, 18 years old, first flight March 2006. Goedemiddag Henry. Is it afternoon already? Almost, almost. So we have a fishing competition between the herons. We have the mother duckers over there. Daisy was seated over there initially, but I think she scooted out and we haven't seen her since. I haven't seen any coots yet. Do have a loud American here, what do you know? American airplane. You have to look closely, it's a bit subtle, but you can see it if you know where you need to look. Dreamliner on its way to Philly, flight 203. Good it out, yeah, of course. Michael says, I have no idea what you're talking about, loud American. Yeah, that's an urban myth. W says Cathay Pacific 747 coming in for Kaagbaan, followed by Saudia Cargo 747. In that case, let me open up the filter to both inbound and outbound and have a look where I think that the first airplane already landed. Right, so Saudia is flying base and is going to be landing as number 2 right now. Now, not just Americans can get loud. Dutchies also, when they are flying an A330. JetBlue to Boston. Flight 632, A321neo. right. I'm also looking up and around me. Contrails are visible every now and then. There's a contrail remnant a bit further to the north. The actual airplane is still flying over there. Already quite far away. Not the most ideal to be looking at. Don't see any other airplanes in the immediate vicinity. Also, we have to wait a little bit for the next airplane to Polderbaan, which is coming. Looks like a heavy. Meanwhile, we have Croatia Airlines A320 to Zagreb has just taken off from center. Hey, that was a nice combo shot with one of the previous departures from center, which had turned around to the south and was flying in the opposite direction. Hey, activity at the fire station. A second truck has emerged. And now the other 747 is coming to runway 06. That would be Saudia flight 933, number 7 on flight radar, arriving from Jeddah. Jeddah Nights on board this airplane, I think. Five hours 29 minutes on the way from Jeddah to Amsterdam. 27 years old. First flight November 1996. That's a lovely age, 27. Next departure is arriving. KLM 78710 to Toronto. Flight 691. Lisa asks if I played Pyromaniac again. Why are you asking? What are you seeing that looks like remnants of something that has burnt down? Oh, because of the fire trucks. I'm sobering up, I need more vodka. Hey there, Jeremy, tuning in from The Hague. Morning, mate. Hey, Jorn. Morning. Well, except for the appearance of the second truck, no more activity is going on over there at the fire station. No Viagra in the air as well, as you guys can see. Which is also indicated and confirmed by the chimney smoke rising nearly vertically, which is interesting because I am actually feeling a slight breeze. And there's also an ever so slight ripple in the water, as you guys can see. Oh well. KLM Flight 691, 78710 Dreamliner, destination is Toronto, Canada. It's the PHBKI, 4-year-old airplane. First flight was in August 2020. Flying with Timster, says morning, what is the camera you are using? It's a Canon XA60, what I'm using. And also, morning to you, Timster. Boss 950 says KLM flight 1475 just left Amsterdam, but it is already diverting back to Amsterdam. Did it take off from this runway? Don't recall having seen it. Does look like a quad member is contrailing with another one flying in the same direction. Oh well. Nah, they're not intersecting closely next to each other. Hey there Maaike, goedemorgen. Maaike is recovering from an appendix surgery last Tuesday, very unexpected. Good luck with that. Acute appendicitis. Right. Meanwhile, that airplane I thought I saw now no longer is producing a contrail, but let's follow the trail. There it is. Qatar. And it has 4 engines, so that's a Qatar A380. Not producing a contrail, but following the line of the contrail it produced, we were still able to find it. Got another one directly overhead. Moving away. Bit hard to identify. Air Canada? Delta? Not sure. Could also be something different altogether. Looking up and around me, no other contrails that are closer by than the one I showed you as last, so let's focus on what we can see best, which is departures coming this way. Hey there, Lucas. Good morning. Malky, good morning. TUI Dreamliner to Bonaire. Flight 395, Dutch registered. 7878 Dreamliner, 9 years old, first flight January 2015. Let's see, it is 11:50, so if I recall correctly, two runways for departure still. That doesn't bode well for the A350 to Taipei, which I think is going to take off from runway center then. Right, to flight 395 to Bonaire. 9-year-old airplane, first flight January 2015. Showtime. Alright, Evan has to go. Has a funeral mass to get to in about 5 hours. Okay, well, all the best with that then, mate. Hope to see you in the next one at least. Take care. In the meantime, I spy with my little eye Urfried. It has returned. Urfried has returned. We're waiting for the next traffic. Meanwhile, I am going to put back on my hoodie because my arms and neck are not protected from the sun. Otherwise I'm going to burn. Right, back again. Getting a bit warmer than I wish I had, but at least now a bit more protected from the sun. It was looking like it was going to be a cool and cloudy day today. Then things opened up and no wind and sunshine equals warmth. China Airlines to Taipei. Hey Siegfried, morning. Now I still have to reroute the cable of my microphone so that I can also put the hoodie over my cap to protect my neck. Back in a jiffy. Well, you can still hear me. Just switched off the voiceover mic, but you can still hear me through the Sennheiser for ambient sounds. As I'm rerouting the cable and the transmitter, reattach it to my belt. There we go. Now we can also turn it back on. Right. We're waiting for another airplane to come this way. There's actually quite a few that are on the way, and also a chunk of it will be coming to this runway. In the meantime, I see where is the message? There it is. Malky gifting 5 memberships just now. Thank you so much for that, Malky. That really wasn't necessary, but thank you so much anyway. If you're one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Malky for your gifted membership. Be sure to use those custom emojis that are now at your disposal for a month. Thank you so much for that, Malky. And also, big thank you to Remco for your super chat for some sun protection. I still have it, but it's at home. Wasn't expecting to need it today. Was said that today it was going to be a cooler day than yesterday, and I thought I came prepared, but unfortunately did something wrong. Right. Our next airplane coming in, A320neo, SAS flight 556 to Stockholm. We've got a Delta on the move, also coming this way. Departures take place from center, still. SkyTeam livery Embraer 190 KLM. On its way to Toulouse. Loser. Also a new member. Oh, indeed we do. Army vet, I see. There we go. Thank you so much for becoming our latest Aurora Skyline. Well, not the latest because Malky gifted memberships after that, but thank you so much for choosing AMS Live. Army vet 172, welcome to this lounge. Hope you will like it over there. Be sure to use the custom emojis. That goes for all members. They're there for a reason. SLDKJH says, hi all. Does somebody need to bring a coat? No man. Got my hoodie on. Got the hoodie over my cap, so the back of the neck is protected. The arms are protected with the exception of the hands. And obviously the face, but there's the cap for that. There's a little bit of wind now, luckily. There wasn't in the beginning of the morning. Meanwhile, Singapore Airlines after Singapore taking off from the wrong runway. It was expected to leave at 11 and it was still scheduled to be leaving at 11 earlier in the morning, which would have meant it would have taken off from the Polderbaan, which is also why I chose it to be a thumbnail. Sad to see that once again they've thwarted the original plan. Also a massive big thank you to Jerry coming in with a bang. 5 gifted memberships courtesy of Jerry. Thank you so much, Jerome. You shouldn't have either. You did so anyway. Thank you for that. Hope that everybody who received a membership from you just now will thank you for it. Welcome new members. Thank you so much, Jerry. This is SAS flight 556 to Stockholm. A320neo. Remco says you can also go to Boerfried. I've got a sneaky suspicion that that is going to happen later in the weekend. Hadi Greet, goedemiddag. Martijn, goedemorgen. Emirates 777-300 just took off from center. Now we are going to see a Chinese 777 to Guangzhou, which is now turning around the southern threshold of the center runway. And we're also going to hear, well, we can already hear yet another A330 by Delta. This is flight 243. We'll be going to Boston. Coming to you, Sarah. (737) KLM to Portugal behind it. And having the hoodie up. Actually, too warm. Luckily, my neck, the back of my neck is protected when I'm standing like so behind the camera. You can hear the engines already. vodka is still cool, luckily, in the thermos. It stays chilled pretty well for hours on end, even if the sun is directly shining on it. Highly recommended if you're like me and you drink vodka during work and you like your vodka chilled. Delta Airlines, flight 243 to Boston, Massachusetts. I'm wondering, are we going to see the first line cutter of today's show? The answer is yes, we will. KLM flight 1571 is coming this way, off to Portugal, Porto. PHPXL, 23 years old, first flight September 2000. Donna says, boy, I'm sure you could buy a suitable leather outfit with face cover in the Wolle. Yeah, whip comes included with it and handcuffs. I could definitely do that, Donna. Who knows? Turning and burning, question mark? Turning and burning, exclamation mark. And no, Jerry, no erratic static today, absolutely not. The solution definitely was switching to Wi-Fi for the mobile data instead of using 5G. Delta Airlines flight 243 to Boston, Massachusetts, A330-300. Adrian says a diving outfit also does wonders. Still, French fries is tastier. Huh? Must be me, but I'm not following the correlation between those two sentences. Hey there Clemencia, goedemiddag. And Jerry says, interesting fact, Portland, Oregon was to be Boston, Oregon. Huh? Really? What's this? The itty bitty Airbus. And here we have that Chinese triple. Mark says, I need to spend a couple of days at that spot. Taxi from the airport to there? Question mark. Yeah, that, or maybe rent a bike. I'm not sure if you can rent bicycles from the train station at Schiphol Airport itself. If not there, you could take the train to the station nearby, Hoofddorp, and rent a bicycle from there and cycle to this location. That's probably not that longer in terms of your traveling time, but probably a lot cheaper. Of course, weather dependent. Obviously, you could take a taxi, but I think that is probably more costly than renting a bicycle and taking the train to Hoofddorp. Hey Jin, good to see you, mate. Welcome back, hope all is well. No others who have joined in the meantime, also good day. Tom says, wow, hello sir, so glad I found this channel. I'm new to this, but I love everything about the Netherlands, so why not learn and watch from Schiphol? All the best from Norway. Well, I'm not a sir, just call me boy if you will. Thank you for your kind words, welcome to the stream. Learning about the Netherlands through this channel might lead to a not a representative view of the country, but maybe it will be a nice experience. Joining Schiphol is going to the threshold. I have a sneaking suspicion that we are going to see the second line cutter of the show today. Yep. BA flight 431 A319 to London Heathrow. Here it comes. 22 years old, first flight September 2001. Wow. It's been flying since 9/11, or at least the month of 9/11. Now apparently this is not a location that a lot of you like to see streams from, because I see quite a few dislikes and also not even 300 likes. So is this a location that you guys, do you prefer me to film departures from the other point further to the north on the cycling path? I always like the approaches over here when you see everything coming in from the main platform area, but if you guys prefer to see the rotations further up ahead, where I was also located yesterday, I can take that into consideration. This is China Southern Cargo 777 freighter, flight 2574, 14-year-old airplane, first flight August 2009. Howdy guys, good afternoon. Right, I'm hearing an Embraer 190 coming this way. Plus another departure from center. This is Tarom. Why? That's why. Off to Bucharest. 737. Okay, KLM Embraer 190 to Aberdeen is making its way over to the runway threshold. KLM flight 915. What else is coming? Let's see. Embraer 190 to Inverness. Delta A350 to Detroit is also coming this way. Flight 133. That's nice. Finnair to Helsinki, but that doesn't seem to be an A350 today, sadly. United flight 21 to Houston is also coming this way, and Finnair does seem to be coming this way. Another Chinese 222 Shanghai is on the move, another China Southern Cargo by the looks of it. Still that nice cloudy backdrop against which the airplanes climb. I was wrong in anticipating that the clouds that we were seeing in this quadrant of the sky all along would be drifting towards us. Baby grebes in zebra livery, 2 of them. Check it out. Well, almost the entire family dove under. Ah, there's one of the mother duckers. And there's the other. Ah, there was the other. Meanwhile, KLM 737. Lisa is very observant, saying that there are a lot of KLMs at Schiphol. Wow! Nah, you're just seeing double from all those 10% beers that you had at lunch. It's actually half that much. Embraer 190 to Inverness, flight 903 lined up. Delta A350-900 to Detroit. The next airplane. Frank noticed that when shopping in Belgium there were a lot of Belgian folk around. Quite annoying. Delta Airlines Flight 133 to Detroit, Michigan. 6-year-old airplane. First flight somewhere in 2018. Meanwhile, Finnair is coming this way in the KLM Embraer 190 to Oslo. KM Malta, or no, Electra, that's Electra. Keep mistaking that tail for the cross of KM Malta. Here is the fake Finnair A350, it's the A321, yeah, flight 1302. And the Embraer behind it is also going to the threshold. KLM flight 1201 to Oslo. Finnair flight 1302, A321, off to bloody Helsinki. 7-year-old airplane, first flight February 2017. Time for a quick sip of vodka. The flask is warm, the thermos, but the vodka is cool. Positive rate, gear up, okay. Alrighty, Orange Pride incoming. Let's see, where is that mother? Oh, gotcha. PH BVA, KLM Orange Pride arriving from Panama City. KLM flight 758. First flight of this airplane was in January 2008, we all know that by now. Flight time 9 hours 41 minutes. That is the Orange Pride. In the meantime, arriving over here, taking off shortly, United Airlines. I think this was flight 21. Let me zoom back in again. Yeah, United flight 21 to Houston in Texas, Jet 7200 It's November 76010. 25 years old, first flight May 1999. And I think, well, saw Harry landing over there just now. I think I also see the next Chinese triple coming this way. Yep. United Airlines flight 21 to Houston. Hey, JD also back in the chat. On the lunch break, I'm assuming. Bon appetit. I'm being shot at, shots fired. Everybody duck. That is the bird controller who, as the airplane was moving to the north to take off, moved to the south and is now shooting at me from behind. There's the culprit. Again, hiding behind that bridge. Shooting from behind. Lame, quite weak. Don't worry, Lisa. I'm bulletproof. Nothing to lose. Fire away, fire away. Frank says, there's a dead guy next to the polyband. Quick, grab his camera. Ah, that says something about you, Frank. As you were saying, that it was saying something about Donna when she was referring the leather mask. So too, this says something about you. And the circle is round again. Andre says, do I spot an Embraer? Nah, this is just trying... Oh, wait. Yeah, I think you're right. Another rare one. Let's see, sleek narrow body, big ass engines, no winglets or sharklets to discern, so that is probably an E2 Embraer with extra mother-in-law compartment. JD asks if he missed playtime. Well, we haven't had any playtime here today. Unfortunately, things here dry as a desert. Frank says, "No, I would never grab your camera. I'm afraid to have static." You bastard! Even if it were offered to you for free, you still would refuse it. Piece of shit, XA60. Rightly so. E2 Embraer 195 off to Dublin. Ah, sorry Mike, don't make funny jokes. Can't laugh with my tummy, yeah. I'm sorry. Shots fired. China Southern Cargo. Flight 452 to Shanghai. 777 freighter, 4-year-old airplane, first flight March 2020. Green light suggests that I take off the Big Bird suit. Yeah, that's dangerous for engines, such a big bird in such proximity. Now what is going on over there? Is that the police? No, that's just people with backpacks. What are they doing? Oh, okay. People in the water. Not sure what is going on. Something going on over there. Anyway, let's see. Over here, 737-800 to Edinburgh. Yet another Delta A330, another A330neo going to New York JFK. Just playing that set, are they driving around shooting out the windows just like my neighbors here in northwest Georgia. Yeah, it's Wild Wild West over here. First thing that you need to invest in if you consider live streaming along Polderbaan is a bulletproof vest. Camera comes second, vest comes first. Right, Delta is lining up on the threshold. The question is EasyJet going to skip ahead or follow? No, it's going to follow. Right, in the order of appearance, it'll be Delta Airlines Flight 49 is what we're looking at. Destination is New York, JFK. It's an A330neo, a year old, first flight June 2023. Delta Airlines Flight 49. Hey, Rakete 88, auch wieder mal zurück. Herzlich willkommen. And all others who have joined in the meantime, good day to you too. You're watching MS Live, my name is Boy. We're standing at Polderbaan, runway 36 left. One of two runways being used for northbound departures. Hardly any wind. Nice summery weather. One Delta A330-300 that aborted its takeoff. But in the end, successfully flew out on its second attempt. Other than that, quite uneventful day over here. Just a lot of loud departures. World Aviation also in the chat. Different runway, and indeed this is the south side. In line with the taxiway from the main platform area. For those occasional headshots, of which we've only seen 2 thus far. Delta Airlines A320neo going to Stansted momentarily. Austrian registered, the OELSQ. 1-year-old airplane, first flight July 2023. Almost forgot the highlight of the day. Jesus visited the Netherlands. It has left for Manchester quite a while ago already, so we're back to being a godforsaken country once more. All hell has broken loose ever since. But it is nice and warm over here in hell. Still have some vodka left. And EasyJet is pulling up. Going to Stansted. Hey, lunchtime. Crayfish. Yep, that's what happens in nature. Ooh, what's this? Now, lucky you, Michael. You missed one, but here is another one. Meanwhile, E2 Embraer 195 is taking off to Birmingham. KLM flight 1045. I think those are the fishermen that regularly check the fishing nets for the crayfish, which is an invasive exotic species over here. I think there's one less now. If it is going down, that is. Meanwhile, SAS CRJ 900 Copenhagen, flight 1548. On its way it is. Ooh, early rotation there for heavy. Is that a relocation flight or what? 2767. Okay, no, it's going to Delaman. Already quite high. Climbing steeply, relatively speaking, for such a heavy airplane. German Airways. Going to Aalborg. Eelborg. Flying on behalf of KLM, KLM flight 1285. Hey there, Thomas. Good afternoon. Good to see you again, mate. Daniel, good afternoon. Welcome back. All others who've joined in the meantime, welcome to you too. TUI Flight 355 to Willemstad, Curaçao is coming this way. It is a Dutch registered TUI Dreamliner, 10 years old already. First flight was in May 2014. Just Play Nuts asks, no chocolate? No, not yet. We haven't seen Chucky just yet. I'm not sure if we will. Ordinarily we do see them, but also no herpes today, which I'm not sure if we should be too sad about. A day without herpes doesn't sound like such a bad day. Parallel departures are in progress, centered runway also being used for outbound traffic. It's probably not going to be much longer before the center runway is also going to be used again for inbound traffic on days when we have wind from the south-southwest. Up to now, runway 27 was the secondary runway in use, which also made the threshold of 18 left a very nice place to be standing from, and also P3 a bit more attractive than normally would be the case. But the ILS system, I think they had test flights scheduled in the upcoming weeks, so thinking before the end of next month normal operations will resume. Which means not only parallel arrivals but parallel departures, but also parallel arrivals again from the center and Polderbaan. The Dreamliner underway to Curaçao, the sea of the ABC Islands, Aruba, Bonaire, Curaçao. Up and away. Now, in just over 15 minutes from now, Polderbaan is expected to become the only runway for outbound traffic again. Chocolate and herpes, how can you go wrong? Indeed, just plain nuts. Absolutely. Meanwhile, not much is changing in the sky. Some friendly clouds, an occasional contrail. Well, we all can see that this is Condor. Quite easily distinguishable. Over here, the beautiful Azzurro of ITA. Sadly, having taken off from the wrong runway. Right now, for a moment, the sun is hiding behind a little remnant of a cloud. And we are awaiting, are we going to see the A350-1000? That would be nice. Right now, no, it's on the taxiway to center already. Hey there, Ivan, or Ivan? Ivan, probably. Sadly, no. There is an itty bitty Embraer to Glasgow coming this way, and we have the A320 to Erbil in Iraq. Now coming this way to rotate and climb out. BH Airlines to Erbil in Iraq. ITA Airways Bombardier C Series 300 to Milan is now lining up on center while we are waiting for traffic to come this way. A couple of heavies are coming. ITA is on the move. A220 Bombardier C Series 300. In my humble opinion, this airplane in this livery, right now, one of the prettiest airplanes out there. Going back to Milan. Meanwhile, over here, KLM, Embraer 190 to Glasgow, flight 939. QJ asks if I spotted the AXA already live. I haven't. Actually not too concerned about it, since there are so many A321neos from KLM coming in the upcoming years. We will be getting bored of them before you know it, just like Embraers right now are. So I'll see it when I see it. In no hurry to see it already. Saw the pictures, nice looking airplane. I'll see it in real life soon enough. We have another Embraer 190 to Gothenburg that is coming this way. Is that where they keep the goats of Europe? Gothenburg? Not sure. In the background we have a 787-10 Dreamliner which will be going to Chicago. That is KLM flight 611. The Embraer 190 will be going to the runway threshold for its departure. So we still have a few moments. Let's see. A350 1000 is coming. Cathay Pacific. There it is. Cathay Pacific, la la la. I've heard that they serve good vodka in Cathay Pacific. Might have to order something for the lounge as well. Lisa says, Embraer's boring, how dare you? How dare I? Easy, you heard me say it. What you gonna do about it, eh? What you gonna do about it? Meanwhile, KLM Embraer 190 going to Gothenburg. Ooh, watch your back. You're not scaring me. And boring. Meanwhile, the 787-10 is moving towards the runway threshold. Gives me a few moments to crawl behind the laptop. Say a massive big thank you to Thomas for your super sticker, mate. Thank you for your thumbs up super sticker. Very much appreciated. Thank you, Thomas. Lisa says, who knows when I will show up again. I have a sneaking suspicion. I think I know. Now, what has this airplane been doing? Has it been flying to Colombia lately? It forgot to wipe its nose. Hey there, Tony, good afternoon. Right, so the crayfish fishermen in their boat, and they're being chased by a car. How about that? I think that's one of the security company's cars. It's getting busy again. EasyJet going to the threshold. In the background we see a heavy already. Very good airplane indeed. Ooh, check it out. We have a line cutter. Jesus has left and already people are diverting from the righteous path, taking shortcuts in life, deviating from the norm. KLM Flight 1295 to Billland, dropping off bills in Billland. If you are a European, you're called Bill, you misbehave, Billland is where you will be sent to for the rest of your life, if found guilty. This airplane is 24 years old, it is a millennial, first flight August 2000. Julian is in flight 603, and if I recall correctly, Julian, you were also seated on the left hand side, right? If you would, could you shine the torch, and also could you tell me what seat number you are in so that I can know where I need to point the camera to? Fire in the hole, showtime, here we go. Right. Potbaan, the only runway for outbound traffic from 1 to 2. The final power hour has begun and we are getting all the airplanes now. All the heavies, they're coming. Showtime, folks. Make sure to stick around if you don't have to be anywhere urgently. This is an A319 EasyJet on its way to Bristol. Oh no, Julian is on the right hand side, shoot. That is such a shame. Next up will be KLM Flight 1777 to Berlin, 737-800. Lined up ready to go, and we have another narrow body behind it. Wide body. Wide body, wide body. Party time. KLM Flight 1777 to Berlin, 737-800, 11 years old, first flight made 2013. Julian is Now on the right window, 15th row. Cannot see it from over here, sadly, then. Or can we? Let's see. No, you're not here yet, are you? No, not yet. Frank says, this is your chance to score a crayfish salad sandwich. Mate, you should know by now I'm a vegetarian, not eating crayfish. Although, I'm pretty sure it would be a tasty snack. E2 Embraer 195 to Copenhagen, lined up, ready to go. Flight 1271, 2-year-old airplane. First flight somewhere in 2022. Triple 7-300 to Las Vegas is now lining up. KLM flight 635. 13-year-old airplane, the PHBVF. First flight was in January 2011. Here it goes. Hey! Zeker, bekende gezichten. Cray fishermen starting to recognize me as well. Mike says, greetings from ASML. Aren't you supposed to be working then? Bob has to go, says enjoy the day. See you later, Bob. Thanks for joining. Sleep tight. Right, well, Julian, if you're coming and you're seated on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, we can still see you if you shine the light. We can zoom in quite decently, as you can see. So maybe it is worth shining the light altogether, just to see if we can film you. We can already see KLM flight 603 arriving, so we do have a moment to see if we can see something. KLM flight 677 to Calgary, 777-300 PHBVI, 12 years old, first flight June 2012, lined up right now. Infinity, goedemiddag. Okay, he will shine the light. Perfect. Let's have a look at it right now then, before the next departure takes place. Row 15, right? Hard to see anything. Are you guys seeing it? Me, I'm not seeing anything. You guys neither? Okay. Wouldn't that be something over the wing? Well, they are turning a little bit further as they're moving towards the threshold. Let's have a look at it again. I was fearing it would be over the wing. Just a few windows that you're not seeing here, but I think those are further back already than the 15th row. Or is it? Well, that's business probably. That's not the light, is it? Is that the light? No, it seems to be a reflection. Nah, it's a reflection. It's a reflection of the wing. The windows are opening ever more. I'm still not seeing anything. United Flight 947 787. Don't the row numbers continue counting? So if you have 6 rows of business, isn't the first economy row or premium economy row row 7? I think it is, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, this is KLM flight 603 7879 Dreamliner to LAX, PHBHH, 8 years old, first flight August 2016. Let's see what else is in the pipeline. EasyJet A319 to London Luton. So if you're Luton intolerant, don't watch. You'll get a bad case of diarrhea otherwise. Eddie rightly remarks that the light has already left together with Jesus earlier in the morning. The light is now in Manchester. Okay, Duffy says it does count up, so I would think row 15 would then be before the wing or over the wing somewhere. Anyway, no matter. Let's see what else is moving. Oh, quite a lot. Hey, 747 to Shanghai is coming this way, or is it the China? Air China cargo? No, it's just on the parking, right? Oh, shoot. Wouldn't that be something? Have a Chinese 747 take off. Jörg was asking about playtime. Jörg is probably back to work already, but playtime is underway. Now in the vicinity of the southern threshold of the center runway. So still a few minutes out. Meanwhile, KLM EasyJet flight 22516 to Luton. A319, 13 years old, first flight somewhere in 2011. Now Julian, have a good flight. Oh, JD is still there, lurking and working, while playtime is soon upon us. Working and lurking. Not sure if working is condoned in Lurker's Lounge, JD. Have you consulted with the manager? It's about recreation, not work. If you are working, make sure that the manager doesn't see you. You might get kicked out of Lurker's Lounge. Working, it is strictly forbidden in Lurker's Lounge, I think. Oh boy. So everything that you see on the platform now of Schiphol Airport with outbound filter will be leaving via Polderbaan. Oh, the 747 now no longer on. No longer visible. K1 again doing an inspection of sorts by the looks of it. Yo bro, why aren't you doing your rounds? Are you expecting a dealer? Looking at your watch expectedly. All's gone quiet, but not for long. Fear not. There's a whole slew of airplanes coming this way. The pack being led by a 777-200 to Rio de Janeiro. Playtime behind it. Hey, still a departure. Thought that the runway had closed, center runway. What the fudge? Going to Istanbul, plain white airplane. Right, so Oerfried, now for sale. How about ice cream? That's a caravan, I think. That's not the ice cream truck. So it's just the fries and you can do your pee-pee. Oerfried. Oh. Now I'm starting to get a bit peckish. So big picture wise, sky more or less looks the same. Some cirrus clouds, some cumulus clouds. It's all friendly and good. Still hardly any wind, although a bit more than we had in the beginning of the stream. You can see a few ripples. And there is a little bit of movement in the chimney smoke. Now, the windmills hardly spinning. They don't need a lot of wind to be spinning, so them almost standing still is indicative of just how little wind there is right now. Our next airplane, the 777-200, KLM Flight 705 to Rio de Janeiro. Jörg, playtime. Finally some Viagra in the air. Lord knows we were needing it. Another departure to Athens. KLM flight 1955 just took off in the background. That is interesting. Normally speaking, one runway only open for outbound traffic between 1 and 2 o'clock. So I'm a bit surprised. And I see that the 777-300 to Nairobi also seems to be taking off from that runway, as is KLM flight 1945 to Boshell. Okay, so when are they going to switch to a single runway for outbound traffic then? Why don't we have a quick look on Bezoek Bus? Do a refresh. Expected runway use tonight and this afternoon, and it says here landing 1 o'clock till 2 o'clock, landing runway 06 and 36 right, and takeoff starts from 36 left only. Center until 1 o'clock and from 2 o'clock onwards again. So the expected runway use is normal. The actual runway use right now is diverging from what is normal. Air is leaving just as we are doing a big headshot of playtime. Look at me hypnotizing you. A321neo playtime is upon us. Now where are those custom emojis? Come on, members, do your thing, show some love for this airplane. Going to Reykjavik, turning and burning. Another emoji. That's 2 emojis that you guys can use, playtime and turn and burn. Right, and JD even is able to manage to add a third. Let's Get Loud, which you can always use. Lisa as well, great show. I'm hearing a Delta A330 and I cannot lie. Delta to Minneapolis pretty soon. But not before KLM flight 705 to Rio de Janeiro. 777-200 PHBQD, 20 years old, first flight December 2003. Perfect, JD. Right, Remco has to go. Remco, thank you for joining, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. Now the triple also has taken off from the center runway. Or was that the 78, 710? I think it was the flight to Nairobi. In the meantime, the first Britty hopper of the show, KLM flight 957 to Newcastle. 15-year-old airplane, first flight somewhere in 2009. Oh dear, Jörg, what are you doing? Gifting 5 memberships just now. I think to celebrate the 400 plus likes that we have gathered in the meantime. Thank you all so much for the likes. If you are liking the stream so far and you haven't already, don't forget to add to the pool of likes. It really helps to get the content out to new people who might also be interested in streams such as this, just like you are. If you're a new member and you just got a membership gifted by JD or Jörg, don't forget to say thank you or dankeschön, and don't forget to use the custom emojis that now are at your disposal for a month. Top generosity indeed, Malky. Well said, well said. Got nothing more to add to that. British hopper on the move. And there's another similar airplane looking me in the face on Schiller's lane. KLM flight 763, which I imagine will be next, because the next airplane to take off from the threshold is a heavy. Parallel departures still very much in progress. Let's have a look at this headshot. This is not a British hopper, but it's the Adler. The Adler is going to Bremen. But they forgot the R. It should have been Radler. I think that was another one of your jokes, Frank. The Radler, 18 years old, first flight somewhere in 2006, Embraer 190 long range, let's go! So it is now 20 minutes past 1. And departures are still taking place from center, which I don't understand. Not sure. What or how. Paul says, not sure when the 747 is departing though. It is assigned to 36 left. That is nice. Hey Jillard, goedemiddag. Good to see you again, mate. Happy weekend for you then. Is that Peter Pan? Looks like it. Quick glance. Yep. Transavia Peter Pan. And Delta Airlines Flight 163, another A330-300 to Minneapolis, Minnesota, taking off right now. 17-year-old airplane, first flight July 2007. Up and away. Hatches are opening, main gear is retracting. No issues on that one, which is nice. Meanwhile, behind me, an Embraer 190 to Manchester, KLM flight 1033 is approaching the threshold. Looks like another British hopper. K1 still basking in the sunshine over there. Will they? Yeah. I was just about to say, will they shoot off some fireworks again? More shots fired. Hey, don't point that barrel to me. It's getting a bit dangerous now. Shots fired. The Embraer 190 is now spooling up. We have a Dreamliner coming this way. there's the Britty Hopper off to Manchester, Embraer 190, flying for KLM as KLM flight 1003. Climbing steeply, nice. Again, Happy New Year to one and all. Another year gone by, doesn't time fly? So we're what, in 2030 now? Means I can almost retire. Yay! Hey, that's good news, Paul. 747 is now on the move, he says. Hopefully coming this way. Well, it is coming this way. Probably first has to go to Aalsmeerbaan a bit and then come back, and then it still has to pass all along the center runway to get to the entrance, to get to Polderbaan. Air Canada flight 901 to Montreal. Embraer 190, Embraer 175 behind it. Okay, this bodes well. Aegean to Athens is now also crossing the center runway, so I think now finally they closed the center runway. The fact that Aegean is coming this way, that's a good sign. And oh dear. Deja vu, the second Adler. And we saw the first one not too long ago. Or am I now getting so drunk from all the vodka that I'm mixing up my days? Then you guys will say in choir, no boy, this is the first Adler of the day. Ha ha ha, screw you. We're confusing you. Yeah, there are two apparently, Jörg. Transavia and the G going back to Athens over there. It's all coming this way now. So finally it looks like Polderbaan is the only runway for outbound traffic. Air Canada to Montreal. Now in Europe, if you go to the local airport in half an hour from now, you should see it land in real life. It's going to Düsseldorf, actually. Adler Nummer 2. Alright. Flying for KLM, the second Adler or Eagle. Embraer 190. This is the Damlo, 16 years old, first flight somewhere in 2008. Dirkie says it would be faster to drive from Amsterdam to Düsseldorf. I'm not too sure about that, Dirkie. Not sure what kind of car you drive. And you have to go via the A1, going via Utrecht now. Total chaos. Indeed, Danny, 747 is coming to Polderbaan. They're all coming to Polderbaan right now. It's the only runway still open for departures. out steeply. Hey Tom, also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. And this is number 175, which will be leaving for Bristol now as we speak. KLM flight 1079. Transavia to Ibiza next, flight 5675, one of their 737-800s. This particular one, 14 years old, the PHHBJ. 14 years old, first flight May 2010. After that, the G going to Athens. And I'm also seeing Her Majesty the Queen. She's coming. Now, cloudiness increasing a little bit in intensity. Every now and then, the occasional shade. The G is leaving for Athens, but in the meantime, yeah. Lisa is already here, my queen. So we have a second queen coming. Going to China. Now before the other queen will take off, we have another heavy that is lining up to go to Panama City. KLM flight 757, 787-10 Dreamliner. It's the PHBKG, 4 years old, first flight January 2020. Paul says, Cathay Pacific Cargo 747 also on the move and assigned to 36 left. Perfect, perfect. Grand finale with 2 747s at least. Graziano, bom dia. Perfect timing, mate. Hey there, Hank. Sadly had to go. Okay, but now you've returned. That's the most important thing. You can even see the reflection in the water. Now, that other queen is almost at the threshold. With a sleek wide body. It comes across as being an arrow. How's that for an optical illusion? Shamrock also following suit, so they will depart in order of appearance, or at least these two will. There's more narrow bodies coming. Not sure what they're going to do, and if one of them is going to go to cheaters lane, or maybe all of them. Transavia, known cheaters. KLM, also very unfaithful and cheating. No, they're all continuing. Seems that everything coming now this way is will be leaving in order of appearance. Yeah. There you go. In that case, let us focus on Her Majesty the Queen. Air China Cargo to Shanghai. And she is 29 years old. First flight February 1995. Old. Look. Ah, awesome. Just got a text from my buddy who just became a dad for the 3rd time. Awesome. Was already expecting news. Cool. Anyway, where was I? Let's see, where is that other queen? That is... Oh! Still near the Kaagbaan. Okay. Shamrock in the meantime. Off to Dublin. Cheers, Paul. It's my buddy Gosse, who is also sometimes in the chat. He has popped up here in the chat every now and then on occasion. Couldn't see the entire message, just saw a baby picture. Not yet the name of the child, but... Right, and let's see, we have Transavia flight 6001 to Porto in Portugal, now leaving. We'll do that, Lisa, we'll do that. Transavia flight 6001 to Portugal, 737-800, 14 years old, first flight June 2010. Paul says, 3 kids, not easy. I have 2 brothers and we ran our parents ragged. Yeah, I also sometimes got that impression with 2 kids already whenever I went and visited. 2 young kids already seems to be a handful, and now there's going to be a 3rd one. Well, in the beginning it's probably going to be relatively calm, but as they get older, oh, in 10 years or so from now, they'll have 3 kids in puberty. Wow. Let's see. Thought I already saw a familiar shape, but I guess I was wrong. No, 747 is on the move, but still a bit out. Do see something else that you all will recognize undoubtedly. That is the Emirates A380 landing on what seems to be 36 right. The mic undoubtedly picks up the sound that you guys will recognize as being A330 engines. There you go. Another Transavia lined up ready to go. This is Transavia flight 6337 to Valencia. Valencia! Yep. Now we can see the Queen. Yet another Queen. And another Delta A330, of course, because an hour without Delta A330s is not a real hour. Fake news. This is KLM flight 1983. Off to Belgrade. Right, and yet another KLM. Incredible. Incroyable. This is KLM flight 651 going to Washington DC. A330-200. It's the FWAD. PHAOD. Now, for those of you who tuned in later but haven't heard yet, pilot Sander sent me a image of a forum where it was indicated that starting from September, certain airways will be flying to Amsterdam with an A340-600. Now I'm not sure if the source is rumor or if it has been confirmed already, but if that were true, how amazing would that be if the A340, not just the A340 returning to Schiphol Airport, but also the A340-600. That is a long mother. Anyway, it's already September on Sunday. Cathay Pacific 7478 going to Frankfurt, short flight. Delta Airlines A330. Meanwhile, to Detroit, flight 137. Fisherman. Heren. Boating by. Say what? Yeah. That boat engine is loud. Cathay Pacific Cargo 7478 on its way to Frankfurt. Short flight. Air Arabia Maroc to Nador. What's it gonna do? It's continuing. It is continuing. Now, does that also hold true for the KLM Embraer to Milan? That's what I am wondering. Yep. They're leaving in your order of appearance. Means we can focus our complete attention to the 747. Now, for me, this is going to be the last airplane of the day, folks. I'm going to wrap it up after this departure. Really a big thank you to everybody for watching and joining me here today. I had a wonderful time and I hope you guys did too. Be sure to leave a like if you haven't already, but did like the stream. Looking forward to go out again tomorrow. Not sure yet where I'm going to go to. Wind is more or less the same. Might be fun to go to the Kaagbaan since it is a weekend day and parking will be decently possible then, which means it will feature arrivals. On its way, the 7478. Last airplane of the day, ending the day with a Queen. What better way to end the show? Now, thank you all so much for your support. Once again, for the likes, for all the gifted memberships, the memberships that you bought yourselves, all the other stuff. Thank you so much. This channel is nothing without you guys. It's been great fun being here again with you all. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Also, moderators, once again, a massive big thank you to you guys for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. Hope to see you in the next one. Be safe. For now, I'm going to say bye-bye and see you all soon.